invite Rahul Verma, who is the Vice President, Corporate Finance Taxation with Cipla. Can we have Rahul with big round of applause, please?
Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well. So I'm not a person who like to just stand behind the dais and kind of hide myself. So just I want to be in open and kind of have a discussion which is open, and and like to be a little bit more interactive. Like I don't want you to guys sleep and kind of be awake and keep me awake as well. And let's make it a little more exciting. Like there's a discussion around tax transformation, which is around technology and around taking your tax compliance to the next level and have a sound sleep. Even if the DGGI or any investigator comes in, you have the data and you have the processes and you have the system to kind of show them that we are compliant and we have wherewithal of what the data and what is the ask is. While we all know about the taxes and the nuances, as Malay and Gitika explained. But having said that, even if somebody comes for question, they just don't want, like DG or any investigator, they comes in, they just don't look at those one or two questions, but they ask for plethora of questions. And for that, if you are not ready with technology and not ready with tools in-house, then you may grapple with data. And I have seen in past, whenever any investigation or anything happens, you have at least half a day or one full day got wasted without even serving even a paper of data or anything. But once you have given the confidence to the investigation agency or the people who are visiting you for audit, giving them access to the system, giving them access to the data rooms, they feel comforted, and at times they lost even the thrill of the investigation. Once you show them system, once you show them the processes that you have. So that is one. I'll just take you through like some of the initiatives that we are doing internally in our in-house tax team. The kind of the team that we have is a mix of tax professional who has been kind of homegrown, like 15, 20 years of kind of experience doing a particular tax issue of say refund or say litigation or say TDS or international taxation, transfer pricing. So homegrown leaders plus we also have got people in our team who are hands-on on technology, like they are on robotics, they are also doing SAP hands-on, plus they are working very closely on new technology, Power BI and display models, so that they can really work on data, and wherever they get challenged, then they go and take help of the core SAP and IT system and do our internal development. There is constantly a development happening with our internal IT team as well as the cross functional or the supplier service provider IT teams, so that we are always on the thing. Yeah, as Malay spoke about the cost aspect of compliance. So we always have to kind of keep in mind that the kind of technology and the kind of investment that we are doing in tech has to be self-serving, and it whatever cost we are incurring, the result of automation pays out. It has to be self-serving, not kind of add-on overhead. So first I was just talking of a litigation tracker that we had implemented, and it's very helpful when it comes to specifically the indirect tax team. When you have got hundreds of registration for subsidiaries, parent and associates, and you have to do compliance for all of them, and you just can't have them seeing by logging into each and every logins and kind of finding out where the notices are and what kind of responses and show cause and orders are coming in. So this system has been in terms of picking up information from the GSTN portal and income tax portal and kind of doing some kind of a data section where we put up all these things for monitoring and circulating this to the relevant stakeholder to kind of do the next level of processing, be it data collection, be it reconciliation, be it making a submission on that. So all those notices demand pen wise and data get extracted and circulated over to the team. And yeah, while it also generates intelligent alert, in terms of, what are the dates on which we have to reply to those notices that gets, registered in the system, and eventually we get pop-ups that this is the, proceeding which is going to be scheduled in the next week or coming days, and we got to be ready with that. And obviously with those actionable report, we have been trying to use AI tools to kind of, use the case library to make replies for those standard questionnaires and for standard show cause notices, so that, we don't waste time in, reinventing the wheel, so to say. And with the case library at our disposal, we can always find what is the latest development and put all those arguments in our submissions. Yeah, so now moving on to, our GST compliance and vendor reconciliation. So like, the first one is like, we are challenged, or maybe all of us may be facing challenge in terms of, first doing your monthly compliance on GSTR ones, and making sure that they reconcile with, your financials. And at the same time, if anything is missed or something, then you, do corrective action in your next month. And at the end of the year, when you are filing your 99C, it should not be taking time. While I see that, timeline are extended till December or even after that, and people are still grappling, till the last date in terms of doing these reconciliation. So what we have done is, we have invested in a in-house talent in terms of, developing a tool on Power BI with inputs from the ASP, GSP, and the information that we have filed on GSTN based on the logic that we already input in the SAP system in terms of what all items will be considered for our GSTR ones and so on. So with that, flow of data from SAP to outward supplies and then to ASP, GSP to GSTN, we further, do a reconciliation of the data with our accounting numbers, the trial balance, and come up with the state-wise income tax P&L and do the reconciliation. We are ready effectively on, say by the end of the year or by end of the month, anybody asks the GSTN 9 or GSTN 9C, we are ready, so to say. And thanks to, the people in my team who had been kind of working constantly on that and doing constant improvement on this. And the other thing I would like to take you on this vendor reconciliation tool, like which has been a nightmare, like people explained here, like you are being penalized by GST if the vendor has not paid GST. And to our surprise, when we hold payment of vendors when they are not, making payment, or they have been oversmart oversmart, so to say, that if they have been cash crunch, like they would like to raise the invoice and wait for, reporting in their GST until that time you pay, because they also have some cash issues. So what we had been doing on that is we are implementing a vendor reconciliation system, wherein all the invoices which are booked in SAP, they are pushed into that vendor reconciliation system, wherein the data from GSTR 2A is extracted, 2A, 2B is extracted, and auto reconciliation is done. So when we process the invoice at the first end, we withhold, or planning to hold the GST part of it. That will be released once that reconciliation process is done, and it is made sure that our GST is secured and the vendor is GST compliant, and the GST is paid by the supplier. After all this, that confirmed GST numbers are pushed on to SAP for release to the vendor. So this is how we are securing, the GST, making sure that our supply chain is compliant, and at the same time we are giving an assurance to the management there is not going to be any leakage on GST, and we are always going to be 100% compliant when it comes to, matching of GST with our supply chain. Yeah, and I believe with this new circular plus IMS, we are also kind of, pushing this to our the customers as well when it comes to credit notes. So while this, I would like to compliment, say, DGGI and all, who has been kind of investigating on this issue on pharma and FMCG right from 18 and 19. So at that point of time itself, they have come up, like whether your business partners are reversing ITC on your credit note or not, and we are, We started our process internally at that point of time itself, like, taking all those kind of clarification from our customers that they are making sure they take adjustment of the credit note that we issue to them. So, we cannot afford any leakage on ITC because it hits the P&L on operating margins, as well as any issue around outward tax on account of credit note mismatch. And like our friend recently mentioned, that tax and compliance has become the agenda of the board as well, like the LODR compliances, which has been the order of the day in terms of, you have to report material tax compliances or material tax notices or tax penalties if they exceed certain threshold. So, like initially, the LODR has been very, I should say, asking you to report anything and everything, even 1 rupee of penalty were to be reported. And with our compliance structure, we had been kind of reporting even 100 rupees or 10,000 rupees worth of penalty in GST small orders to the stock exchange. Now they had come with only with the materiality threshold, and we had been reporting around that. So this has been around RPT, and this LODR has been specifically dealing with the RPT compliance. And when it comes to RPT, the board specifically become little jittery if they don't see certain processes in place for the RPT compliance. So this process has been kind of more of something which is mandated by the audit committee and the board, and that we have to implement, wherein we have to put the RPT tag on all our vendor in our SAP masters and identify them with collaboration with secretarial team, because they have the first hand information based on the information they are collecting from the directors and all the related party with their due diligence in terms of who all are the related party as per the LODR norms. And then once you are put those number in the master, then the second step is the planning and budgeting in terms of what is the amount per related party in terms of the approval and alignment of the board and audit committee in terms of not just amount, as well as the pricing methodology, as well as the transfer price method that you are applying to remunerate the RPTs for the routine business transactions. So once we have that planning and budgeting in terms of number and the kind of methodology with which we are paying, the second comes is the monitoring. And if you all know, being part of the compliance team of large companies, that if there is any ratification, that you have to report specifically to the SEBI. And ratification has been such a kind of embargo on the process that you are not supposed to have any ratification, which is very difficult not to have in such a large corporate. Otherwise, then if you have a system, this system is helping us to make sure that whatever number in terms of amount and in terms of the price mechanism that we are applying, we have been following that. And if we are kind of breaching that threshold or about to breach the threshold, it gives us an alert, or not allowed to post the invoices, or not allowed to issue the POs. So once and whenever this thing comes in, we go for a approval in advance to avoid any ratification scenario. And then finally, there is a obligation on corporates to report these matters to the board and to the SEBI every half year in September as well as March year-end closing, that we have been using this tool to kind of push that data into the SEBI reporting tool. So this has actually helped us in kind of taking the governance and compliance to the next level, and giving the comfort to the board that this RPT is not just an Excel work, it is not a compilation of data based on our accounting or Excel adventure, but it is a system driven tool which has been integrated with SAP, and wherein there are system related sanction if they are not complying with the limits and so on. And this 34A automation, which has been a pain point for everyone. So like, this year budget, while there has been a lot of murmur about, we are getting rid of some kind of TDS, some kind of burden of TDS, and compliance is going to reduce, because there is a lot of discussion across all the business channels Like, once you have the GST data, earlier I think they put the TDS thing for the reporting and data collection. Now you have got all the data in your GST, then why you need TDS? So, while, there is a lot of big share which come in the revenue cover through TDS, they can't let it go. But at the same time, while the expectation of the industry had been to kind of, reduce or consolidate the compliances in some way or simplify in some way, it has not happened, except maybe some blatant blunder which has been of the past, like they have put TDS, TCS on the similar transaction, that has been eased out, which was a mistake in the past, which I would say is a correction of the mistake which has been done in this budget. But having said that, the kind of modification to the numbers which has come, like moderating the limits or increasing the limit, it is just increasing your compliance burden, because you have to, go back to your IT team and go back to your systems to kind of modify those limits and all. But having said that, what we have been doing is, like, this common question of reconciling your expenses with the TDS has been a, standard question coming across all the assessment notices. So, like, what we have done is we have kind of, put up some kind of a development in SAP, wherein we are reconciling the GL with the TDS, taking care of the advances, taking care of the year-end provision, wherein we could look at reconciliation and make sure that we could give a number which gives confidence to the assessing officer as well our internal team, that we are TDS compliant. Because the kind of penalties and penal provision are really draconian, and if it goes to the board level, and it is really tough for our tax PS to kind of hide. So we have also been working to kind of making sure whether we could integrate the data that we are kind of each and every line item that we are taking and analyzing for GST, whether we can make sure that the GST and the TDS data talk to each other, and we could synchronize the compliance in such a way that both the team, the GST and direct tax team speak together, and at the same time the data for TDS as well as GST compliance speak to each other. We have been working very closely with our partners as well as IT team on Power BI and internally in SAP, how to kind of bring them together. While that has been the ask to the government as well, if they could do this homework by themselves, probably we need not have to do it. And this is my last slide, and here what we have been working on is, since large part of our business, 40 to 50% of our business comes from export, and we all know, we have been doing export or import or something which is the order of the day. While Trump is talking of tariff, the export and import is going to stay, and they are going to increase, and it's only a tariff which it comes for some posturing, it has to go. But to that statement, we have been working, in terms of our cross-functional teams on export side, import side, logistics, plus tax and finance and banking and treasury, to kind of look at a solution where we could integrate the entire compliance gamut in such a way that we have got data integrity and all the compliance happening at one place, so that there is only one place or one God where you could have to log in and kind of find the data for both your shipping, export, LCs, and for EDPMS compliance, and similarly for imports, for all those LC, insurance, bank licenses, customs, and even the CHAs and all kind of brought over to our own system, rather than the multiple CHAs doing their own compliance on their own system. And rather we should have our own system where you could all those people could be given an access and create their documentation and shipping bills on our own system, to have no issues with the data transfer, at the same time have greater confidence on the data. So we have been using a lot of technologies around developing this, besides looking at tools which are available in the marketplace to integrate this whole system. So this has been kind of appreciated well by the cross-functional team. They have been very forthcoming in terms of participating and kind of taking this whole thing to the next level. Because nobody want their pieces of system for export, import, the EDPMS, IDPMS compliance, shipping compliances, kind of live in various silos, and whenever an investigation or any reporting has to be done, and people search for information at thousands of places. And at the same time, when any investigator comes and see that you have got systems which are in place, then they may rely more on the information being supplied by you from your system than really visiting your place and kind of searching all the data and all the places where you have put that information. So yeah, so this is broadly, I would like to give some thoughts around kind of automation projects which are going on, and the things which has been implemented, and the way, the shape of things to come in terms of automation. So I would like to just share some thoughts while the questions, asking a question may be a difficult thing. If anybody have any thoughts in terms of how they are doing and how they feel the shape of things is going to be in the future. So anyone? Yeah, so I think Thanks Rakesh ji for your question. So as I said, I think most of these tools are something, if you reinvent the wheel by yourself, and will take another stone age. You have to start from that. So the thing is, the approach has been, if you could have a strong IT backbone in the tax team itself, like the Power BI tool or SAP, at least those people are inside. Plus, we have been training our people on robotics and AI. So after that, once you are hands-on on those technological tools, you could also find some partner who are available with their tools in development or tool available for use. Then we kind of partner with them and kind of make sure that we are the first one to adopt and first one to implement. Some things which we could do internally, we rely on our source, and something which is available in the market, we go for those, and we partner with some of those people to kind of make sure that our journey to the tool get expedited, and we reach where we want to reach faster. Thanks for your thoughts.
So only one more question on this litigation tracker which we spoke about actually. And what we have experienced in litigation tracker is the biggest challenge is that captcha. So some system which can go directly enter into your login and take out the whatever the notices which is lying over there. But I think there is an issue of the captcha, because unless until you enter the captcha manually, it can't automatically get into your login and retrieve the notices actually. Have you found some solution around that actually?
Yes, so I think one of our partner is also figuring in this list, who are actually helping in some of those tools, wherein we could actually get over with that and get those notices extracted and coming through the email to our portal, and that has been kind of overcome. While there has been some guidance by the GSTN that you can't put robotics onto the GSTN portal, but there has been workaround which has been done by our technology partners to kind of get that information seamlessly. So there is some interface between the portal and our tool, which help us getting that information. And thank you very much, friends.
Thank you, Rahul, for such great insights shared.